right. Welcome to 5 Tips in 5 Minutes, Rediscovering Your Greatness Within. Women's talks, tips, and techniques for empowerment, courage, and purpose. I'm Mitta Wise, your host, hypnotherapist and empowerment coach from New Zealand, living in Los Angeles and often found in India. Today we have a special guest, and her name is Brava Braun, and her topic today is life in motion. Welcome, Brava.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, Mira.
Yes, and it's our pleasure too. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Let me tell you a little bit about Brava. Brava is the founder of Brava Braun Wellness. She helps midlife women build nervous system capacity for a life in motion. She blends circadian science, regulation tools, and grounding rituals to make movement through the world feel restorative. So, Brava, tell us a little bit more about that. I'd love to hear. It's very interesting to me.
Sure, thank you very much. This all started when I started traveling more in midlife, and all the things that I used to do and travel when I was younger all of a sudden stopped working. And small little challenges in the airport, etc., started to compound. And add that with, midlife hormonal fluctuations, etc., hot flashes, all the rest. I was starting to feel like maybe I can't live the life that I wanted to and travel and move around and do a whole bunch of cool things at the pace that I was used to. And so I started developing tools and doing a lot of research and learning a lot about how to support a midlife woman's physiology so that we don't have to choose between our dreams, whether that means just a weekend away or if that means, even commuting to work sometimes can be a challenge. We don't have to choose between that and our wellness.
Great. And can you tell me, because I'm also personally interested, can you tell me more about the circadian science? Just, briefly, if you can do it briefly.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So in my research, I started to uncover this basically ancient way that people used to live before we started to live our lives indoors, fill our houses with LED lighting, have our lights on in the night, and starting to understand the impact that that actually has on your body and your hormones. Um, I started to see a real difference when I started to pay attention to that impact and modify my behaviors to align with how we should be with the light outside. Meaning, in the morning, when the sun is at a certain angle to the earth, that is when the red light is the highest. Certain types of light is the highest, and that triggers certain hormones to activate in your body. So then we go, so those hormone activations start off a whole cascade of other physiological activities that happen that we don't even know are happening, that all culminate in high melatonin production later on in the day. So when we start to get bright light in the night, with our LED lights, which is mostly blue light, we start to impact all these things. And over time, we don't know what's actually happening to us, but we have made these small little tweaks, the impact can be quite significant.
Thank you. Yeah, I love all the information about circadian, and you explain it so well, and that's wonderful. Thank you. And I know a lot of listeners will be really interested in that. Um, I know you've come here with your 5 tips in 5 minutes. Are you ready for
I
those?
I am excited. Thank you. Can't wait.
Okay, let's start the clock. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So my first tip is to protect your sleep like it is part of your travel itinerary. We spend so much time developing the perfect plan, the perfect travel itinerary, but we don't pay attention to how we're going to sleep. Now, midlife sleep is more sensitive than sleep in your 20s and 30s. Hormone fluctuations affect our body temperature, our deep sleep, our cortisol timing. And then we add travel, we add early flights, time zone shifts, bright hotel lighting, late social dinners, all the great things that make travel what it is. But then we start to wonder, why don't we feel like ourselves? So even 1 hour of shift in our circadian timing can disrupt your cortisol rhythm and your REM sleep. So your brain is not going to be functioning the way you need it to take advantage of the great investment that you've made and the travel that you're doing. So that is why we can have mood changes and emotional regulation challenges so quickly when we travel. Now, soft travel means that you need to plan for sleep the way you're going to plan your excursions. You need to get outdoor light within 30 minutes of waking. You need to dim your lights in the evening. You need to keep your sleep window as consistent as you possibly can. When you're protecting your circadian rhythm, you're protecting your mood, your clarity, your emotional steadiness, and that of your travel companions. Because again, a midlife woman is usually the center of the travel experience for families and friend groups. Okay, tip number two, we need to understand our hormones before we're blaming ourselves. Okay, if airports suddenly start to feel overwhelming for you, and if travel anxiety starts to feel stronger than it used to, and if you're not recovering from your trips like you did when you're in your 20s and 30s, this is not a personality issue. It may be your hormones, specifically estrogen. So estrogen is neuroprotective, and when that starts to fluctuate, small stressful moments that we used to be able to cope with can feel more impactful to our body. And in addition, influences, your serotonin, your dopamine, how we recover from these stressful moments, like a delayed flight, etc. So whether a woman is on hormone replacement or not, it's important that she understand about informed awareness because that's going to be empowering. Now, my goal through soft travel is to respect our biology and ensure that we're going through midlife transitions. We need to recalibrate. And when we start to understand what is happening hormonally, then we can design travel experiences to support a woman instead of making her push through and shame her if she's not keeping up like she used to when she's younger. Okay, now tip three, you need to train for your travel like you train for life. And this part I think is kind of fun because you're supposed to go to the gym and do weights and exercise and all these things. Well, I put a fun slant on it. When I have a trip coming up, I feel like my workouts are preparing me for carrying my luggage, walking more than usual, standing in long lines, sleeping in unfamiliar beds. An under-conditioned body is going to add strain to your trip. And who wants to have added strain to your trip? We want to feel strong. We want our investment and our travel to empower us. And so we need our bodies conditioned as best we possibly can. So I always say that strength training in midlife is not about aesthetics. It's about metabolic resistance, keeping your sleep deep, your deep sleep, stabilizing your mood, and buffering your stress so that your nervous system feels safer when you're moving through the world and having your adventures. Tip number four, build connection into the design of your trip. Okay, connection is one of the most powerful regulators of the nervous system, and it's actually one of the ways that centenarians use to add longevity to their life is that those communities, those blue zones across the world, they're all so well connected to each other. So build connection into the design of your trip. High-speed travel sometimes can disconnect us. We get packed itineraries, we're constantly stimulated, we're exhausted, and so then we crash in our room by ourselves. But what if we slow down and have a softer travel experience that intentionally adds connection in small little places? Like you don't feel rushed, so you talk to your Uber driver or your taxi driver. you kind of plan for unscheduled conversations. That is going to add so much more richness to your travel experience and support your body and your nervous system at the same time. Okay, so connection lowers your stress chemistry, so good for your brain, your body, and maximizing your travel investments. Now, tip number 5 is to restore before you reinvent. Okay, many women book travel because they need a rest. Tired, I need a week away. However, if you're really sleep deprived, if your hormones are unsupported and you're under recovered, no vacation is going to actually fix that. So I work with my clients to develop plans before they depart. And then, what that does, that basically extends the fun part of your travel because your travel experience is actually starting a couple weeks before. So we talk about restoring, we talk about regulating, strengthening, getting your sleep sorted out, your nutrition, etc. So then when the travel moment comes, it's about expansion, not escape. And when movement starts to feel safe again, we know what to do, we feel empowered, then your body subconsciously trusts how to move through the world, and you don't get those small little vagus nerve stimulation and that can add up over the course of a trip. So travel is not necessarily about becoming someone new. It's helping support your biology for the woman that you already are. So those are my 5 tips, and I hope that they resonated with you and sparked some interest so that you can really make your next trip, big or small, something that can really contribute to your wellness and to your travel experience.
That's great, Brava. Thank you. And I travel a lot long distances. I go to India, New Zealand, and so I know what you're talking about. Um, you mentioned the different changes that happen when you travel, and diet change is a big thing for me. Diet change too, because all
Hmm.
that, your regular everyday diet that you do really well in, perhaps or perhaps not, really changes too when you travel as well. So thank you for all of those. Those words of wisdom. I want to let you know, everyone, that her name is Brava Braun. It's Braun, right? Brava
Yeah.
Braun. And her information is in the show notes. So please make sure to go visit her and see all the amazing work she does, the very interesting work she does. And I'm sure you'll learn a lot and, perhaps want to go further and deeper into the work that she does. Brava, do you have any last words of wisdom?
My last words of wisdom, I would say, is to use this midlife is really a reward. The fact that we have got to this place in our lives, we should be expanding our experiences, not limiting them. And sometimes it can feel like our physiology is working against us. And I really believe that those are we can work with that, and there's ways to make changes so that our midlife can be everything that we dreamed it could be and more.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Love that. So this has been Brava Brown and Mitta Wise, and that's it for this episode of 5 Tips in 5 Minutes. We're always sweet and short, but we have so much value jam-packed in here. So we will see you next time. Mitta Wise and Brava Brown signing off with love. Bye, everybody.
Bye.